stars through difficulties. The difficulties have been tremendously numerous and diverse. Time and again, she's triumphed to benefit citizens across this country. Since assuming office in 2009, Secretary Sebelius has presided over momentous changes at HHS. The passage of the Affordable Care Act has led to a new focus on wellness and prevention, increased access to primary care health providers, and a more efficient medical records system to the benefit of millions of Americans. Public officials from both parties have praised her as an expert collaborator and as a consensus builder. And I needn't tell members of our commission how important that is. And members of the American public recognize how important those talents put to work for the public good are. In her 2 terms as governor of the state of Kansas, Secretary Sebelius boosted state education spending, fought to create jobs, and increased affordable health care. In 2005, Time magazine called her one of the nation's 5 best governors. Prior to that, Secretary Sebelius served 8 years as Kansas Insurance Commissioner, earning a reputation for standing up for consumers and proposing visionary changes to the healthcare system. In recognition of her many accomplishments, Governing Magazine selected her as its Public Official of the Year for 2000. Secretary Sebelius leads the nation's emergency health response to crises and natural disasters, including the Haiti earthquake, the Gulf oil spill, and the Joplin, Missouri tornado. She is no stranger to how to respond effectively to the nation's greatest crises. And it is in this role that Secretary Sebelius has asked us, the Presidential Commission for the Study of Bioethical Issues, for ethical advice on the development of medical countermeasures for children. We're honored, Madam Secretary, to have you in our presence and to be entrusted with such a task. Welcome on all our behalves.
Well, thank you so much to Amy Gutmann, not only for that very kind introduction, my mother would be very happy, but for your leadership on this really important endeavor. And I want to also thank the commission members and recognize my old friend, Barbara Atkinson, who comes from the Sunflower State and has done great work. But the job that you're doing is just incredibly important, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to spend a little time with you today. I know that we have Dr. Skip Nelson here from the FDA, Major General Parker with the National Biodefense Science Board. Lisa Kaplowitz is here from ASPR, and I want to recognize the great new executive director of the commission, Dr. Liz Lee, who spent over a decade at CDC and now is here. And I can tell you that Amy lost no time saying, we have to get her on board quickly. We need Lisa. So we're delighted that you're doing this important work. I really do recognize that all of you have busy lives and lots to do, but the work of this commission is critical. It's critical to us at the department. It's critical to the president. And I think that you have volunteered your time and effort to make sure that we get these very important issues right. The work that you did looking at the public health service experiments in Guatemala was critical to get us through a situation that could have provoked really international crises, and yet you helped us navigate that difficult terrain, assessing the rules think there are serious ethical issues around the development of medical countermeasures for children. We are very concerned that as we look at our responsibility to protect the health and safety of the American public, we have the responsibility of HHS for developing and stockpiling safe and effective medical countermeasures to protect the nation from bioterror attacks or naturally occurring issues. And the work that is done in our various departments on this issue is ongoing, continually assessing what's out there, trying to be informed by the new science, looking at what's available. One of the things that I did, because many of you might know, I was sworn in the midst of the first pandemic in 70 years in this country. And I've done a lot of things in Kansas, but we've never had a pandemic, thank God. But I learned very quickly about some of the challenging issues around medical countermeasures, what we knew and what we didn't know, how long it might take to develop effective responses. And so one of the after-action items in that situation was to have a review of our entire medical countermeasure system. The President asked us to conduct that, and I was pleased to do it. And it was clear, among other things, that we needed to improve our capacity to produce medical countermeasures more rapidly in the face of any attack or threat. We were in a situation in the United States, and that has changed over time, but that we really could only produce less than a third of whatever was needed. And so we relied on contracts, international contracts, that might or might not have been fulfilled. We had little control, and it was a situation which we have identified as one that we need to fix. So we've made some progress toward goals for adults. And we know that the development of appropriate countermeasures for children is really slower, but critically important. It's due in part